You can rebuild your knees better than ever before, even on your back porch with minimal equipment. If you're about to panic because my treadmill is in the rain, don't, because I don't even turn it on. All you really need is to get something you can push horizontally to start on the route. Pressing the belt of a treadmill forward allows you to get dozens, if not hundreds, of reps in knee extension, helping you to get more mind-muscle connection onto the quads, the muscles directly responsible for stabilizing the kneecap. And evidence is beginning to show that this device actually strengthens the VMO muscle, vastus medialis oblique muscle, the most fast twitch of the quad muscles and most directly responsible for stabilizing the knee on one leg. On the ATG Science program, you will do this as a warm-up, both backwards and forwards to your pain-free tolerance. Notice also when I go forwards, my feet are getting loaded on 1 foot at a time, cyclically, just like my knees are getting loaded 1 foot at a time, cyclically. Why is that important? Cyclic tension at shallow knee angles activates living cells in the ACL to create bigger and stronger ligament over time. Wait, did you just say the ACL can grow?
Wait a minute, did you say anything?
Yes, and not just that. If your ligament is torn, research shows anywhere from 33 to 50% of the time, you can actually regrow the ligament if you give it proper stimulus to that end. Personally, I've seen 2 anecdotal cases through my clients on my program. One did the program on his own and was able to recover from an ACL tear to getting back to dunking in just a few months' time. And my current online client had an MRI diagnosed full thickness ACL tear, and in less than 100 days, a retest of the Lockman test where they pull both of the bones apart to test for laxity. He was found to have a stable knee, and MRI verified full thickness tear has healed to a partial thickness tear. So yes, not only did the research show it, but I've seen it in practice as well. What did we do? We literally started with what I'm showing you here, strengthening the knees in reverse, because if you look, there's less load on the knee as I press the belt away. And then long term, we focus on what he could do, loading the knee forward according to his pain-free tolerance, progressing to more heel elevation as tolerated, then more height, and loading over time. And no, don't do it on a treadmill. I'm just trying to save time, because if you hadn't noticed, it's raining cats and dogs right now. That's also why I don't have my laptop, because I only have one laptop. If that breaks, there's no more ATG Science. But to that end, not only did we work getting strong with the knee over the toe, but also with the hip behind the heels. And no, we didn't start here, we started here. Then progress with height, even more height, some load. And long term, I like to see my clients be able to hit 25% of their body weight in either hand. I only have it in one hand. For 10 reps on a 6-inch box with a 2-inch heel wedge. So that was strengthening with the knee over the toe, strengthening with the hips behind the heels, but we also made sure to address any mobility limitations in that injured knee with the ATG split squat, a natural progression from the Mulligan mobilization with movement concept for the knee joint, a physical therapy technique used to improve cartilage health, improve synovial fluid saturation, and overall mobility of the knee joint. On the ATG system, we just don't use a mobilization belt and instead progress from hand assistance, no assistance, light loading to increase the mobility. As the mobility improves, use less height, and then as your strength improves, use more weight. My client Michael started highly elevated and utilizing floss bands, another therapeutic tool to help with mobility and strength of all the structures inside of the knee, and he progressed all the way to flat ground in less than 100 days with a ligament showing immense amount of healing. None of this is to guarantee that if you have a structural issue like that you'll get the same results, because again, anywhere from 30 to 50% is that average success rate based on the literature. But I just want to show you hope that if you give exercise a try, maybe it will happen to you. Now, we didn't just focus on the mobility of the knee joint, but also the mobility of the muscles spanning that joint. First, with the couch stretch. Ball the foot on the pad, knee down, foot in front, squeeze glute, and breathe. This is the safest starting point because there's less tension on that anterior chain. And high bird, to make that tension greater, decrease the distance from your knee to the pad, make the ankle flush against the pad, and long term, get perpendicular to the floor, all the way up nice and tall, squeeze that glute, and breathe. So again, getting more strength, mobility, and access in the structures around the knee joint, and getting a stimulus to the body that says, hey, I want these structures back. I think it gives you a little bit of a better chance than just waiting around hoping things to heal. And what's really cool is that these solutions require minimal equipment. I mean, this is a block of wood, but this was one of the primary beneficial exercises that Michael used to regain that confidence in his knees. If one knee is a little bit weaker than the other, just weight shift to one side and just groove it until things start to feel better. Because again, that ATG split squat that I showed you before, it'll help to balance things out. But until then, just find what you can do pain-free and go from there. Hand assistance, taking pressure off the knees, because if I put all my hands on these chairs, I would float. So you can offload to whatever you need, progress to deeper and deeper, using floss bands as needed, more weight as tolerated. You'll be surprised what you can handle over the long haul. These knees, patellar tendonitis, Osgood slaughters, and meniscus tears over the course of my 8+ years of high school activities. Now, it's ridiculous the amount of weight that these knees can handle, and those who have tried the ATG programming system over the long haul can resonate with that. So if you're on the fence about trying these exercises, please shoot a comment below or shoot me a DM. When you are cleared to exercise, I love to help you get back on the route. At less than $25 for the first month, you're not going to find anything like this. Looks like the rain finally stopped, so I'm going to stop too. Here's to a greater pursuit of truth.